I'm telling you, man, I grew up as a child.
Awesome.
All I did was bike.
Me too.
And I would pretend, it was funny that RTC is behind this, I would pretend I was a bus, and I would stop at different stops on a route, and I'd pick up people on my bike. I wouldn't really pick up people because I had no friends. But that was, yeah,
that was so fun.
I love the fact we have this in Vegas.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
And you don't have to own it. You sort of borrow it. It's the whole program.
Because when you own it and then you end up hanging it off the ceiling, and then you're like, I want a bike, but I don't want to get it off the ceiling.
Yes,
you don't do it.
and then you got to get it tuned up and
Neil, we got to get you on one of those bikes.
Well, listen, this is fantastic.
This is
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it helps probably, like I was saying, with the congestion of the buses and having to wait for a bus, and you know what I mean? Or
wait for
it's a fantastic
trying
idea.
to find parking. It's just guaranteed parking for your bike, which is awesome. And
they ride really nice.
At the end of the day, that's the most exercise I've gotten in about a year and a half.
you drive down the road, you see people waiting for the buses.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that if they had this type of thing,
you can ring the thing, and RTC's got you covered either way, which is nice.
We do have this thing.
Welcome into the Morning Blend. Sean Tempesta.
JJ Snyder, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
So we're going to talk about the bikes in just a bit, but first we have to say, you know, losing a loved one, it happens, it's unfortunate, but when they do, they leave a lot of their belongings with you. But if they do that, there's no need to worry.
Yes, here to help you in your time of need is Neil Sackmary with Nevada Coin Mart. Neil, let's talk. We're gonna take a different tone with you today. Usually we're talking about the magic trans. We're joking around, talking about bringing the shoebox down to Nevada Coin. But there's actually a kind of a heavy issue you've dealt with frequently lately, and you'd like to discuss it.
Well, so the thing is that, you know, everybody has a perception about mechanics or you know, people that sell gold or whatever, and so we've sort of transcended that, and, you know, that's why we're busy. But I've noticed a lot of people coming in lately. Unfortunately, it's not something that we feel comfortable talking about. I mean, I don't feel comfortable talking about it with my mom. But when something happens and somebody passes, a lot of people don't know what to do because they're so overwhelmed with so many different things that we have to look at it and take steps to actually accommodate. And so when we actually look what people have accumulated in life, you know, we find that they have stuff, and unfortunately, because in our thought process we think that, you know, a lot of things don't have value, you know, we call the Goodwill or we call places that are donations, and we don't actually try to sell those items to maybe help pay for some sort of cost for expenses or, you know, for the family or something like that in the future. And so it's a very difficult conversation, and it's not trying to, you know, take advantage of people in Las Vegas, because anybody that knows me knows that that's not what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, literally in the past week, 5 people have come in to discuss this. You know, my mom or my aunt, or, you know, what do I do? And so it's like, listen, you know, they come in and they have a conversation first, and then they bring in their stuff later.
Let's discuss the situation.
Well, I mean, it's worth pointing out the trust factor, because once, you know, somebody in our family passes, whenever there's a business aspect that we might get involved with, we all are all a little bit on guard because we don't want to be taken advantage of. And that's something that you make sure doesn't happen as a comfortable situation.
Not only are you on guard, but speaking as someone who's lost a parent, you're probably emotionally fragile. And these items are not just items, but they're items with some kind of meaning.
Well, and so that's the sort of difference, right? Like, it's not a chain that you bought when you're 16 that now you're turning into cash, right? We're talking about an item that has the emotional attachment. And so in my store, that's why I have all my stuff that's not for sale, because I'm an emotional person. You know, I talked to my mom about this issue last night, and it was like, listen, you know, at the end of the day, what would happen if that happened to me? And I don't want to have that conversation. But what I do know is the fact that I would want to get paid top dollar for what it is that she had, in honor of what she collected. And so I wouldn't know where to go to sell an antique lamp. And so at the end of the day, what we look at is, we looked at a person that's been in the community and that does all these things, and it's not in a way to just get people in there and thank you very much. That's not the business.
Of course.
And so it is an emotional thing that we do need to discuss.
Absolutely. There's a house full of memories. There's obviously a couple things you'll save, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that you probably shouldn't, and that's where we come to Nevada Coin Mart. It's worth pointing out, we don't have to pay for an evaluation or anything to see what our stuff is worth.
Right, and that's the other thing. Like, you know, you brought up about, you know, a parent. I offer free evaluations. Now, I'm a graduate gemologist from GIA, so I'm certified that I can do that. That doesn't mean you have to sell. Like, let's be clear. I offer a free evaluation whether you sell or don't. Yeah. You know, and so we hear on the, especially on the Morning Blend when I'm here all the time, about the different organizations and companies in town that do financial planning and for retirement and these type of things. Yeah. Right? And so this is sort of into that same idea. You know, we look at what we're doing and we have to plan for these things. And so what happens is... It's coming whether you plan or not. So
yeah,
I mean,
it certainly is.
And it's not... it's not a conversation that anybody wants to have, but when we're faced with that emotion, you know, the important thing is that people can come in, clients, whether they just want to know what something's worth and they want to sell or not.
I'm glad you suggested that because I personally am pretty cautious. So I would be one of those people who, let's say I had a box of belongings from my father's passing. I'm emotional about them, and yet I'm ready to, you know, let go of them. But I would want to get an appraisal from you. That would make me feel good, and then probably think about it. Yeah, I'm not someone who wants to make that decision right there. But the other thing I know about you is you're going to give people an idea of what you'd offer, and you also have really high-tech ways to analyze. Right. So
objects, here's the important thing, and this happens a lot. Okay, we talk about estate jewelry and vintage jewelry, you know, and a lot of that type of stuff. You know, the X-ray spectrometers are $30,000 piece of equipment, and so that will analyze any type of jewelry without hurting anything, and so that's really perfect for evaluations.
Neil, you're the best.
Neil.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity of coming.
We still wave.
And yeah, we still
even though it's more serious.
Nevada Coin Mart. They can help you out in a time of need. You want more information about them, you can visit their locations on Jones, just north of Flamingo. You could also call them or visit the website, nevadacoinmart.com. Nevada Coin Mart, proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.